Quick question for you. If you were looking 12 months ahead, what do you want your money to look like? I want you to be specific as possible. Are you trying to make an extra $1,000, $5,000, maybe even $10,000 a month? Because here's the thing, we've got about 8 weeks left in the year. That's it, and that's plenty of time to start trading right away. And you can use that time to build towards your first $1,000 or even $5,000 month. Of course, it's not a guarantee, but it's absolutely possible in this time frame, especially when you follow a clear plan, especially because most people will wait until January. But the ones who start now, those are the ones who will be ahead when everybody else is just trying to catch up and just getting started. And of course, nothing in trading is magic. It's just about structure, focus, and a plan that fits your life. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what that looks like. And I know that this plan works because I've lived it. I started this phase of trading while working full time, and I didn't have 8 hours a day to just stare at charts as much as I would have liked to, especially because I really like the charting process, but I didn't have that kind of time. So I learned how to make real progress in short, focused windows of time with the same approach that I teach today inside of the Profitable Traders Academy. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what you should focus on and what to completely ignore if you start building consistency before the year ends. This is all based off of my personal experience. We're gonna break it down into a simple 8-week plan. We're going to learn what to do and why it matters, and how to finally stop guessing every time you open up a chart. But first, let's clear up one of the biggest myths I hear all the time this year. There's no better motivator than a real deadline, especially because waiting until January, it sounds productive, but let's just be honest for a second. It's usually just procrastination that feels responsible. And that's why at the beginning of the year, let's just take gyms for example. They're filled with people that have a new year, new me type of resolution. They're filled with all types of people that have a New Year resolution to get fit. Where the people that have been there all year are annoyed because now they can't get a machine because all of the new year, new me people are there. And in reality, there is a new you every single day. You can start today. You don't have to wait until January 1st. People tell themselves, I'll start when I pay off all my debt, ignoring the fact that trading could possibly help you get out of debt faster. Or I'll start after the holidays. Why are you waiting after the holidays? You got time now. And I'll start when life slows down. But in reality, life never really slows down. You have to figure out how to prioritize trading and make it a part of your life now. Because the reality is, there's always something that feels more urgent than the thing you're trying to do at the moment. And that is exactly why most people never start. If you had just started 8 weeks ago, you'd be much further along. And you'd already have some results. Of course, they wouldn't be perfect, but they would be yours and they would be real because you made a decision to take action at that point 8 weeks ago. There's a big difference between people who talk about trading and people who actually learn how to trade. And being one of those people who actually learn how to trade, I want that to be you. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to feel ready by getting started. And that starts right now. If you want some help building those habits the right way, that's exactly what I teach inside of the Trading Launchpad and Profitable Traders Academy. The Trading Launchpad is for new traders who want structure and confidence. And they want the skill to be able to take their first clean trades without overcomplicating things. And the Profitable Traders Academy is for new traders or traders who already understand some things about the market, especially the basics, and they are ready to create consistency, precision, and have results that last. You don't have to wait until January to get structure. Every week you wait is another week of guessing the markets. Now, let's talk about what's realistic inside of the markets. So let's go ahead and talk numbers. Your results in trading always comes down to 3 different things. It's going to be your skill, your consistency, and your account size. And for most new traders who actually follow a plan, the first big milestone is hitting your first $1,000 inside of the markets. And then it's going to be your first $1,000 in the first month. And then some people go on to make even $3,000 or $5,000 in just a few months. Especially if they already have a little bit of experience inside of the markets and they stay disciplined. Others take longer, and that's totally fine. Everybody is working on a different timeline. And just this past week, I was talking to a member inside of the Profitable Traders Academy, and she made her first $88 trading gold. You can see it on her face. She was so proud and excited about that $88, and I was just as excited for her as well because I remember exactly how I felt when I made my first $5 in the market. And then I went to make $10, $20, $50, $100, and then my first $1,000 in a market. And I want you to celebrate your first win or your first couple wins, even if it's small, because that's just going to be momentum that's going to keep you moving forward. And it'll also prove that your plan actually works. The goal here isn't to swing for the fences, it's to stack small, consistent, controlled trades over time. And that gives you real momentum over time inside of the markets. Not wishing, not hoping, not using luck, not using signals or whatever. It's just about refining your strategy. And that's why we're here. That's what we're going to talk about in this video today. We're building a process that actually works, one that you can trust month after month after month. Like everyone, you can find trading information everywhere. There's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all these other places on social media. There is literally no shortage of information on trading. But at the same time, that's part of the problem because most people are drowning in information, but they're not getting any better at the markets. They're not making money. Some people are actually losing money the more that they learn, so it seems. And I believe one of the key reasons is because they don't know what to focus on. And trading is actually much more simple than most people make it because your edge comes down to one setup and a few markets that you actually understand, especially when you mark off clear levels with written rules as to when you'll enter and when you'll exit. And later in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what changed for me. I'm going to share the exact setup, and this is the one that I recommend that beginners start with because it was one that helped me out the most, yet a lot of people struggle with it. And it's because it requires patience, a lot more patience than more people typically have, especially when they're first starting. And that's when structure needs to come into your trading as well. Patience and structure, patience and structure. So you'll know exactly what your setup looks like and you'll stop second guessing yourself. Also, at this point, you'll stop chasing random moves that don't fit your plan and you'll learn how to wait and let the market come to you. That's when trading starts to feel calm and somewhat predictable. I know that's how it felt for me. And I know that from other people who I talk to inside of the Profitable Traders Academy say the exact same thing. It's boring in the best way, especially when you combine structure with journaling, with screenshots and repetition, and you start seeing the progress that actually sticks. That's when trading stops feeling like luck and it starts feeling like a skill that you're actually building. Okay, so now we're going to start building this 8-week plan together. Keeping in mind that you have 8 weeks, that's going to be plenty of time for you to get the right structure in place in order to help you improve your trading or start trading, to start building the right kind of consistency that can actually lead to your first 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K month, or even beyond. At this point, we are not aiming for perfection. We are simply aiming for progress, structure, practice, and you getting the reps in that you need to actually move forward inside of the markets. Okay, so for weeks 1 through 2, we are going to focus on foundation and safety. I want you to pick one market that you can actually keep up with. I know for some people that's going to be gold, Tesla, or whatever stock you already follow. That's going to be a great place to start. If your schedule is tight, options on a quality stock can work just as well. That strategy has been working out tremendously for me for these past 6 weeks, or actually past 6 months. It's all about what fits your life. Now, next, you are going to define your risk per trade. To keep it simple, we're going to focus on a fixed dollar amount. For you, it may be $100, $1,000, $500, $10, whatever it is, focus on that number. So no loss ever defined you. I want you to set up your chart with clean candles, clean levels, and structure. And if you need examples, I have so many examples on this channel. Please find one of those and use it as your guide. Maybe you want to use moving averages. That's cool too, but I will say this, make sure it's a higher number. Stop using this 9-day EMA. That is not enough time, please. Next, I want you to get your journal ready. I want you to mark setup, level, entry, stop, target, results, and screenshot. These are going to be the key metrics that you need inside of your journal. You can write this down or you can just put it on your TradingView screen if you use that. Now, finally, I want you to put practice in, put in the reps, and just mark up your charts and follow the structure that I just laid out. So now, We're moving into weeks 3 and 4. We want to validate the setup. Now it's time for you to backtest your setup. And I want you to keep this very simple. You don't need spreadsheets or a ton of numbers right now. We just want to make this basic in order for you to be able to start it and then continue it once you get started. So just pull up recent price action. So pull up your charts and then just start marking up your charts. Look at the setup that you were looking for and how you would have played it if you were in that trade or if you were looking for that opportunity. You can go back as far as you like. I usually don't go back further than a year. And I also want you to watch this live. I want you to watch how your candles are forming, watch how the pullback behaves, watch how the candles go up and down. I just want you to spend a little bit of time just looking at the live market. You don't have to spend all day, 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe that's a couple candles, a few candles, whatever it is. But the best place is to just start. And I want you to understand that it's way easier than trying to track every single win, loss, or percentage right away. I just want you to observe. The goal here isn't to have perfect data. And I know that's a little weird for me to say, especially with being an engineer, but it's about understanding what you're seeing and to start reading the candles clearly. And it's also to get you to build confidence inside of the market and understand how the market that you're focused on moves. And it also helps you to understand and prepare you for trading that market with real money if you haven't already. Eventually, you'll profit with structure, and this is the structure that I want you to follow. It won't be luck. So for weeks 5 and 6, I want you to start small. This is something that I did and it helped me out a lot. So when you go live, start small, and I mean really, really small. If you're trading futures or commodities, that means using micro contracts, the smallest ones available for those markets. And if you're trading options, just trade one contract. That is how I started. And if you're trading stocks, just stick with one single share. That's all you need. Because this phase isn't about making a ton of money. It's about keeping the pressure low, helping you get started, and then also keeping your data clean. And depending on your schedule, aim for maybe 2 to 4 trades in a given week, only if it meets your trading criteria perfectly. I want you to take a screenshot of every entry and every exit, and then write one simple line. I want you to analyze what worked and what you'll change for next time. And here's the rule that'll save you a lot of frustration. If it's almost your setup, then I want you to skip it, because in this situation, almost doesn't count. At this point, you're trading for patience and precision. And that's exactly how consistency starts to build. And for me, when I was starting to take live trades, one of the setups I used a lot was the break and retest setup, especially because it was so simple, but you have to be patient. So for weeks 7 through 8, we are going to focus on review, because right now you got data, rhythm, confidence, and it's starting to grow because now you know exactly what you're looking for inside of the market. So now it's time for you to tighten things up. I want you to pull up your last 20 trades and look at them honestly. Were they all clean setups? Did it meet your rules? If you were trading the break and retest, did you wait for it to form all the way? Were there a couple of maybes in there? And for me, I say no to the maybes, because every trade I take has to meet my criteria. And I'm not talking about a laundry list of criteria. I'm talking about maybe 2 or 3 things that gives me the confidence in order to take the trade. I'm looking at clean levels, market structure, and basically just the right trading conditions. And that doesn't mean that every trade is a winner. The market can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. Don't forget that ever. But this is essentially how you build discipline inside of the markets. When you only take quality trades, your data starts telling you the truth, and you'll clearly see what's working and what's not. If your results are positive and your head is calm, then over time you can continue this rhythm, or you can scale up slightly if it makes sense for you. If your results aren't, then don't stress about it. Just wait, just follow this process over again, because that's what this is about. And you want to focus on things that reduce your stress inside of the market, and also you want to focus on things that keep you profitable. And you want to also note the things that are good for you inside of the market. You want to take note of this, and you want to create a 2-page checklist, maybe even 1 page, maybe even on a post-it. Whatever it is, you want to have this routine down packed, so that way when you look at your computer or wherever you're trading from, you'll have this mini checklist. I used to have a checklist on some post-its, and and I used to keep it at my computer. But that's going to be the thing that helps you keep that discipline inside of the market. So for right now, you got two options over the next 8 weeks. You can spend them scrolling Instagram and planning to trade and convince yourself that you're going to get ready to trade. Or you can use those same 8 weeks in order to take 30, maybe even 40 real trades that are reps inside of the market that helps you build that confidence that you're looking for. And you can also see what you're capable of. Both options are hard. You have to pick your hard. One keeps you stuck where you are and the other one moves you forward. The choice is yours. If you really want to make progress faster inside of the market, you have to tune out the noise. You have to ignore the 12 new indicators that everybody's talking about. You have to ignore the prediction culture because nobody really knows what the market is going to do. You can only make educated guesses based on what the candles are showing, and definitely ignore those urgent trade tips that everybody keeps trying to get you to click on that serve as clickbait that doesn't really serve you as a trader. And yes, I know technically I'm one of those people on the internet who is talking about trading, but look at it this way. At least I'm giving it to you straight. None of that noise helps you grow. What matters is simple. Your levels, your structure, your entry criteria, your stops, your targets, and your risk. And keep your watch list small so that way you could focus on just a handful of markets and not 50. You want to trade your plan and not your feelings, because at the end of the day, your focus always beats more markets, more indicators, more setups inside of the market. And if you're ready for structure that actually gets you results, then go ahead and join the Trading Launchpad or the Profitable Traders Academy. Inside of these programs, I'll show you how to trade with a clear plan, master one setup, and build real consistency inside of the market step by step. If you do the work, I'll help you refine it every step of the way. The links are in the description, and a year from now, you could still be trying to piece this information together on social media with Google searches and God knows what else. Or you could already be trading with structure and confidence. And you can have the results that you actually see inside of the market. And that for you can start today. 8 weeks from now, you could still be planning. Or you could have a real trading process in place and your first $1,000 or even $5,000 month behind you, because now you'll be working on the next goal, maybe heading to 10,000. The difference comes down to starting right now, keeping it simple, focus on one setup and a few solid markets. And also having a fixed risk every time you trade. Just do the reps, stay consistent, and let your results build over time. If this video helped you see what's possible, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel, and definitely share it with someone who's also learning how to trade or want to learn how to trade, and don't just wait for January. On this screen, you're going to see some videos that will help you become a better trader, and I'll see you in those videos.